We're getting disturbing new images of the victim of that vicious brawl in Cincinnati. Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno shared these on social media, writing, "This is Holly. She wanted to have a nice evening out with friends. Instead, she got this. Holly gave me permission to release the photos so that others will never suffer what she did. We need and deserve change." Now, that brawl that did that to her involved dozens of people. 5 have been charged. It was filmed from multiple angles by several bystanders, uploaded onto social media. The violence and audacity of it all was so shocking that that video immediately went viral, and reaction most was of disgust and it was of worry, but not for everyone. Why do I say that? Cincinnati councilwoman Victoria Parks replied on Facebook to one of the videos saying, "They asked for that beatdown. I am grateful for the whole story." Joining me now for more on this is McDonald. He is the president of the Ohio Fraternal Order of Police. Thank you so much for coming on. So the Fraternal Order of Police in Cincinnati is calling for that councilwoman's resignation. What was the reaction to those comments?
Well, quite frankly, every law enforcement officer in the city of Cincinnati and around Southwest Ohio were outraged by that reaction. The level of violence that occurred in that incident is unacceptable. It shouldn't be condoned by anyone and should be condemned by everyone.
Any idea what she was referring to, the other part of the story, why they deserved it? Not that this should ever be justified, but I just don't quite follow it. Do you have any answers to that?
Yeah, there's some speculation that one of the victims of this riot, which is what it is, a riot, that's what the people have been charged with, is aggravated rioting, amongst other charges, might have slapped somebody first. I don't know if that's true or not true, but what I do know to be true is that the level of violence, the fact that nobody called 911 except one person.
Nope.
But there are many people who took video of this, but nobody helped. I find that to be deeply disturbing.
This is happening more and more. How many times do you see viral videos and you're thinking, why are the people who are videotaping this not doing anything, not jumping in? It's called, right, the bystander effect in a way. Are you seeing this more and more, the growth of social media? Is that what's happening here? Nobody's doing anything?
Yeah, absolutely. And we see it where people are attacking the police and people are standing by videotaping. Now, we also have a great number of people who are willing to intervene in situations like this or in situations where police are being attacked. But far too often we see bystanders pull their phone out. Their first instinct is to capture what they hope to be a viral video instead of what it should be, which is to summons help or intervene if you're physically able.
Now, I will tell you, from a legal point of view, videotape is an important piece of evidence. Sometimes it's good to capture it, but obviously with something like this, why one person called 911 concerning. You mentioned the police. So you say Cincinnati police are understaffed, right? 200 officers short. You think that played a role here?
Yeah, absolutely. When you're short 150 to 200 officers, which is what Cincinnati is reported to being short of their authorized strength, it obviously plays a part. And it plays a part in all of our urban cities in Ohio where they don't have enough officers that they're supposed to have. Just think of what a couple, a dozen extra officers could have brought to that situation.
Why do you think that is? Because is there a lot of anti-police rhetoric and violence against police right now, not just in Cincinnati, across the country, here in New York? What just happened? An NYPD cop was shot and killed in that Manhattan corporate office. And you wonder what needs to be done nationwide to address this stance towards law enforcement. Do you see that as maybe there's a reason there's an understaffing? Is there a moving away from being a law enforcement officer?
Absolutely. I just had the honor to speak at the funeral of Officer Philip Wagner, a Lorain, Ohio officer who was killed while eating his lunch last week. And just yesterday, I had the opportunity to speak at his funeral about the violence against police. And we've had 10 law enforcement officers shot in the last 7 days and 196 law enforcement officers shot in the line of duty this year. So when you couple that with the anti-police rhetoric that is prevalent in some parts of our country, of course it helps keep the numbers of law enforcement officers down where we need them the most.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.